Not long after the Jin Dynasty united China, something unexpected happened. Two men started a very strange competition. One was Shi Chong, a former regional governor, and one of the wealthiest officials of his time. The other was Wang Kai, the uncle of Emperor of Jin and senior military general. They were not competing to see who had more money. They were competing to see who dared to waste them all. Wang Kai washed his cooking pots with mud sugar water. Shi Chong fired back by burning candles as firewood. Wang Kai landed fortily abroad with purple silk. Shi Chong led 50 of broke it to beat him. Wang Kai shot off a coral tree about 2 feet tall. Shi Chong picked up an iron scepter and smashed it on the spot. Then he had 6 coral trees brought out, each 3 to 4 feet tall. He told Wang Kai to just pick one to replace it. This competition had no finish line and no rules. There was only one logic. Enjoy more than me and you win. It's a true story from China, 100 years ago. So the question is, why did something this absurd actually happen? To understand that, let's look at the world it happened in. In the final years of the Han Dynasty, China fell into chaos. 3 kingdoms rose up and fought for control. The fighting went on for nearly 100 years. The Sima family used that chaos to rise to power. Starting with Sima Yi, 3 generals worked together to take control of the Wei kingdom. Finally, Sima Yan founded the Jin Dynasty in 265 and unified China in 280. The chaos was over, because during the long years of conflict, even the wise and powerful kept a very low profile. Different powers had been facing off for a very long time. Things could change at any moment. What made you rich today could get you killed tomorrow. All of that pressure vanished the moment Sima Yan united China. Just like that, it was gone. And among everyone who felt that change, no one felt it more than people like Shi Chong and Wang Kai. Shi Chong and Wang Kai represent 2 very different kinds of powerful men in early Jin. Shi Chong built his position through his career and local power. He reportedly used his authority to build up an enormous amount of wealth. Wang Kai's power came from family. As the emperor's own uncle, his confidence came straight from the imperial family. Their wealth came from very different places, but in the upper circles of Jin society. They moved in the same world, and they were competing for the same thing. Who could better represent the very top of their era? Stacks of high-backed desire for pleasure finally found an opening and came rushing out all at once. This is the first reason. It was not that these men were born loving waste. It was that they had been waiting for this moment for far too long. But releasing that desire alone does not fully explain why they competed to waste, rather than simply enjoying their wealth. To really show where you stood, you needed something more extreme. It was not about showing how much you had. It was about showing how much you could afford to destroy. Being able to destroy things showed that your wealth was so great. The loss meant nothing to you. Wealth had become a kind of language. What I destroy is worth more than everything you own. This is the second reason. When there's too much wealth, waste itself becomes the way people size themselves apart. But there's a third reason, and it's the most important one. Sima Yan knew about all of this. And not only did he know, but actually he took action to give this behavior the approval of imperial power. Every time Wang Kai started losing, Sima Yan would take treasure from the palace and lend them to Wang Kai to help him keep up in the competition. An emperor who controlled the resources of an entire empire used its own position to openly back this kind of waste. This one action sent a very clear signal to everyone in the upper class. This kind of behavior has the approval of the highest power. Not only was there no punishment, the emperor himself was backing it. So everyone knew which direction to follow. When those at the top set an example, no written rules are ever needed. The emperor's attitude was the most powerful gate of all. Put these three reasons together and use that to see the full answer. It was not simply because of who the people were. It was the sudden release of desire after years of chaos. The need for a new way to show status when wealth alone was not enough. Combined with the approval and involvement of the highest power. All three conditions came together and created this competition. It was not unique to the Jin Dynasty. Any society that suddenly opens up after a long period of being held back, any class where wealth becomes too concentrated, any era where those in power start training for excess, a symbolic can appear. The form may change, but that pattern of thinking has never gone away. The most dangerous moment for any society is often not when things are at their hardest, but when it was just won everything and forgotten why it was fighting in the first place. It took the Jin Dynasty nearly 100 years to bring China together, and that competition to outwit each other was only the beginning.